It's July and I want to do a handmade Christmas starting with a Dresden plate ruler from Missouri Star, a pack of 10-inch squares, and look at what we made. The cutest, whatever you want it to be. I'm going to use mine as a table centerpiece. It would be great in Christmas fabric, or you could spruce it up for whatever season of the year. We're doing Christmas in July, but it's summertime, so I did mine in summer fabrics, but Christmas fabrics would be gorgeous. Or this is a perfect quilt block. It would be great on the back of a jean jacket. I can't wait to see what you use it for. Let's go make it. But first, always remember to share this so it was saved to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. Let's talk about a Dresden ruler, what it is, how to use it, what to do with it. So this is what a Dresden ruler looks like, and it comes in a bunch of different sizes. This one is made for a layer cake all the way down to a tiny Dresden. Let me get a piece of a layer cake. Well, it's not a layer cake, but it'll work. So it's 10 inches wide. Do you see that? And your Dresden ruler goes from edge to edge. So you would simply cut it. Now, if I were cutting a layer cake, I would cut and then turn and cut and turn and cut and turn and cut to get as many pieces out of my layer cake as possible. Now, or scraps or whatever. This is a great scrap buster because you can lay it on a piece that's maybe not square or straight and cut it out. Now, it comes in different sizes. So you can make all these different size Dresdens. And somebody told me the other day they Googled the directions and it said to measure it and add a 1/2 inch and cut it off, and it was not super clear. I don't know if that's true. I've never even Googled Dresden directions. I just picked it up and did the best I could, and I'm gonna show you how I do it. So for a layer cake, I'm using the whole Dresden, the whole entire template. Hang on, let me see if I can find it for you. I've sewn a whole bunch of them, but I thought I had one unsewn. Well, I'll show you. So you cut out your Dresden, you lay it on your layer cake and you cut it out. Then you fold the two pieces at the top in. You would fold this inward. Let me take this out and show you, because it sounds more difficult than it is. I promise, it's so easy. And Dresdens are something that great scrap buster, wonderful decoration for almost anything. Placemat, jacket, shirt. Y'all know I love to put all of the quilty things on other things. These are also great quilt blocks. I just had a student who did one and she said, Tammy, for whatever reason, like, I get it. I understand the Dresden. The other blocks are difficult for me. She said, but I get the Dresden. And I said, well, I like it. Make 75 more. And she said, don't you worry. That's the plan. So it's a lot of mindless sewing after you cut it out. So this is what it looks like. So see, cut this out, and then I'm gonna take the very top of it, pretty side, and I'm gonna fold it together, pretty side to pretty side, and I'm gonna sew all of my Dresdens just like this. Straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when you start and when you stop, because my grandma said so. If you can lose something while you're holding it, you are my people. I don't know where my scissors are. Ask me how. No clue. Okay, so then you've sewn all your Dresdens. You're gonna take your finger, chopstick, handy dandy tool, not your scissors, and you're gonna push it right side out. And then you're gonna iron it flat. And then this is what you have. Do you see how beautiful these are? And they go in a circle to make a really pretty, almost like a flower. So I was gonna tell you what I'm doing, but let me talk to you about this first. I'm not super picky about what fabric is next to what fabric. If you are, lay your whole entire Dresden out and then pick it up and sew it. I'm just going to try to make sure that my fabrics don't match, and I'm going to sew, like I wouldn't sew this white one to this white one on purpose, but it may end up that way and I don't care. It's perfectly fine with me. But if you care, then lay all of your Dresdens out and then sew them together. So I'm going to take them, I've sewn them, I've turned them right side out, I've ironed them. Now I'm going to take them and lay them pretty side to pretty side. I'm going to line up the tips, and I'm going to start sewing at the top, not at the bottom, because the bottom is going to be covered with something. So if they don't end up quite perfectly even, it's fine. We don't care. But the top is going to be finished on top of your project. So we would like for those to be even. So you're going to start sewing at the top, straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitching when you start and when you stop. So I'm going to sew a whole bunch of 2s together, and then I'm going to come back and do 4s. So I'm going to sew these 2 and these 2 and these 2, and I'm just going to pick them up as I go. these two, and I'm just gonna keep sewing until I have all these sewn in twos. The template that I'm using needs 20 pieces to create an entire Dresden plate. So if I were cutting Dresdens out for a quilt, I would count how many blocks I needed, and then I would multiply that times 20 and cut out that many pieces. In this case, I'm just making one because I'm making a table topper, or you could put it on the back of a jean jacket or a shirt or something else. But for what I'm doing, I only needed 20. So I cut mine out of some scraps I had left over from a layer cake. But I got 4 pieces from each square, so it's a lot of pieces. And a layer cake is kind of genius because you already have all of the coordinating fabrics. I've sewn a bunch of twos. Now I'm gonna sew them into 4s. So I'm gonna open one set of twos and another set of twos, and I'm gonna sew those together like this, lining up this edge down this side, straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam. You're gonna get your 1/4 inch seam by following the edge of your presser foot with the edge of your fabric, okay? Don't look at your needle, and I promise you'll get a nice straight seam. That's the thing I see beginners struggle with most, is sewing a straight seam. And I promise, if you stop looking at your needle, the seam will take care of itself. Just follow the edge of your fabric with the edge of your presser foot. Problem solved. I'm gonna go iron mine, you go iron yours. I'll be right back. I'm back. Now, I've ironed mine, you've ironed yours. We're gonna lay them out like we want them to look. So now I'm gonna pick up 2, sew this, open it up, sew the next one, open it up, sew the next one, open it up, just like we've been sewing. And then we'll put something over the center. I'll show you that. Now this is the fun part, when you finally get to put all of your pieces together that you've worked so hard for, and it all comes together and makes this beautiful Dresden. It is very time consuming, but it's not difficult, and absolutely stunning when you're finished. Okay, this is what we have. But we have this raw edge center. What do we do with that, right? So this is a very sophisticated process. What you're gonna do is cut out a circle and sew it onto it. Now you can fold this under and make that clean all the way around if you want to, or you can do this. Let me find a piece of fabric. Now I'm just gonna cut a circle, but if you're not good at cutting a circle, just get a ribbon spool or a cup or a saucer or whatever it is that you need. And I tell you what else, cut your circle as big as your circle needs to be to cover up whatever you have, because your first Dresdens aren't going to be great, and they'll be beautiful. They just may not be beautiful in the center, but that's okay because this is going to take care of that. So cut your circles, put that on top of your Dresden, zigzag that down, and look at what you've just made. So easy. So I always have my students sew their Dresden onto their quilt block and do the circle last, but you can do it whatever way you want to. You can zigzag it now, or you can straight stitch it if you want the raggy edge, or you can put it on your quilt block and then zigzag it. Totally up to you. You do whatever's easiest for you. This, just like it is right here, is going to be a centerpiece for a table. So you make yours any way you want to, and for whatever it is you want it to be for. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.